Time's up. Let's do this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legends Tournament, Southeast Asia Invitational for all legendary players. And of course, we focus on the top few, with priority given to the top 100 legend players in Southeast Asia. But that being said, I am Babael. Joining me today is Katips, and we will be your host and casters. Just to run through the rules before we start, this is a best of 5 single elimination tournament, and it will only be extended. This invitational is only extended to Southeast Asian players who are ranked legend, and they're seeded accordingly. The brackets are being dropped in stream, and also the rules is just that it's a class elimination tournament, which means that the players who win their games in a particular game will have to use the same class. They don't have to use the same deck, just the same class. And this allows more freedom in terms of creativity and a little bit more space for mind games between the players. It will also allow players to try decks, and we really just want them to have a good time. That being said, the prize pool for today is 600 Singapore dollars. First place will go home with 300 Singapore dollars, second place will take 150, third place will take 100, and fourth and final place will take a consolation prize of 50 Singapore dollars. So that is all sponsored by Hearthstone Southeast Asia, and we are really happy to be the hosts and producers for today. So that's it, Katips. What do you think about our next two players, Raydric and TNTNT?
So Raydric is one of our legend players from the Philippines, so quite happy to see a survivor, I guess, in this tournament. Unfortunately, Zadkiel has been... Oh, sorry, Zadkiel is playing still. Staz has gone down in one of the earlier rounds, as well as Martilk. So it's good to see in the round 3 that we have 2 Filipino players representing the country and the community. And of course, this is Katips. I'm glad to be joining you this fine Saturday afternoon. Hope the weather is good in your part of the world, because it has been crappy here in Manila.
It's been bad in Singapore as well. But by the way, just to let you guys know, this is the second time we're doing the Legend Tournament. The first time we did it is for Season 3 Legends on Ladder. And the first place was Lightbringer. He's still alive in this tournament. ADYB is second, and he's also still fighting. Third place, Kurenai, is out. And fourth place, Veronico, didn't qualify. So that said, we will have these 2 players facing off in the semi-final probably after this round. But without further ado, the game between Raydric and TNTNT will start right now. So we're going in. So taking up the bottom half of this board, I do believe is going to be the Druid, and that would be Raydric. Sorry, TNTNT. Raydric's going to be playing from the Philippines. He's going to be taking the top half of this board. He's not having the best of connection as usual, but we'll try and manage it somehow. TNTNT is playing from the UK, so that's even further away, and I still really hope that his connection survives this mayhem.
Yeah, so we decided to go, despite the connection issues, we decided to go with these players because we wanted to see the new names. Raydric, I think, is making his first Legends Tournament appearance, and he is packing the famous Death Rattle Priest deck, guaranteed to be slightly random, slightly fun, but definitely very, very powerful. It's a force to be reckoned with in tournaments right now. It's a force to be reckoned with on the ladder also. It's a very good all-around control deck. I'm really happy that Priest is getting its kind of like its due this season. Remember, for so many seasons, Priest was at the bottom of the ladder, and only Amaz was playing Priest pretty much, and Zeta Lot, and you know, all of the Priest specialists basically. And somehow with the next Rammus expansion, they got the cards that they needed to become a more competent deck, a more well-rounded deck. And now this Death Rattle version is very, very strong. Lots of board clear, lots of fun. And yeah, so we're now up against a classic Rep Druid. It looks like Yeti coming down for TNTNT. And how do you like the hand of TNTNT for now versus Raydric's, which is I think pretty strong?
Yeah, I actually think that TNTNT has got... We're just gonna call him TNT. Just
TNT,
to shortcut everything.
that's good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, TNT has got some pretty good cards. He's got Ancient of Law already. The only problem is I don't think this deck is gonna be well equipped to deal with Priest. I mean, when I was playing Ladder, alright, the last season, I really hate Priest a lot because I am just one of those pro-cancer player. Okay, that's actually not a very nice thing to say, but I would say that I'm actually a player that plays a lot of you know, cancerous deck, or maybe just interesting decks.
You're strong in the current meta, as far as
strong. But I don't really like the current Zoo. I love the old school Zoo where, you know, things are just so easy. Here you actually have to use your brain a little bit more to play Zoo.
So you like mindless decks is what you're saying.
Yeah, I really like mindless decks. I mean, you get Leeroy, you play Leeroy, you get Doomguard, you play Doomguard, and that's why, I mean, I can get to rank 5 not thinking, and that's what I think is pretty comfortable for me. It's a relaxing game. It's not a game I've got work to do, so this is where I don't use my brain. That's what I prefer. But then my point is, whenever I face against priests these days, it's like an auto lose on my part. I have no idea how to deal with them, and I think many players are ill-equipped even today to deal. Even competitive players today are very ill-equipped to deal with priests, because a lot of the things and calculation, you really need to think about it. And here you can see for sure that this is a very valuable swipe coming from TNT with the Blood Mage Talnos on the field there. But then again, the priest that I'm used to playing will always just steal cards, steal everything. Those are like the thief priests that we've seen before in the last Legend tournament as well.
Yeah, I have terrible luck against priest. Every time I play priest as a paladin, they steal Tyrion, they steal Equality and Consecrate. It's never good for me. So, as you said, that was a pretty good swipe from TNT. I mean, not many druids run Blood Mage Talnos these days, but it's exactly for that kind of play. Blood Mage into swipe, very, very strong play, and that was enough to take out the entire board of the Akanai Soul Priest and the Zombie Chow, giving him sending him back to straight to 30 health.
Ooh.
I would have liked to play. I would have liked him to see. I would have liked to see him play Northshire Cleric and then heal up the Zombie Chow instead, just to get the card draw. But he went for the Akanai Soul Priest. I wasn't sure what his plan was.
Yeah, well, the 1/6, I have no idea why TNT decided to run the Blood Mage Talnos into the 1/6. I think that, okay, this might be why. Using the hero power and the Ancient of Law to clear it out preemptively. It's just interesting the way that he's decided for things to happen. It might be afraid of Shadow Word Death or Shadow Word Pain, but it's apparent that he doesn't have Shadow Word Death. If not, he would have used it already. Shadow Word Pain is the only reason why I think he ran a 1/1 to 1/7. But let's not think too much about it, and here comes the Slush Belcher, our personal favorite card. Such a fantastic card. It's like an auto included in almost every single deck that needs taunt.
It's definitely, we've been talking about this since the BlitzCon qualifiers. It's our favorite Naxxramas card. It's just so much value. You get a Taz Dingo and a Northshire Footman in a single
Goldshire Footman, you mean?
Goldshire Footman, sorry, Northshire Footman. Yeah, so that's some nice defense. It's good against Sylvanas because she doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough attack to kill her, but does have enough attack. Does have enough defense rather to slow her down for 2 turns. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the fact that Slush Belcher is just so irritating to deal with. You thought you're done with the taunt. It's like you have to think about what happens after the taunt is another taunt. And even if it's a small taunt, it's just gonna block against like one-hit combo or one-hit wonders like Leeroy. But unfortunately, Leeroy just got nerfed, and that's in full effect right now. So we're gonna see a Wrath to take out the Northshire Cleric because that's also a pain in the ass. And Ancient of Law here is probably just gonna go for extra card draw once again. So a lot of good mechanic on TNT to draw cards, and I think he's slowly drawing up Raydric. Raydric is down to 3 cards right now.
I agree. And also Sludge Belcher, just going back to that for just a point, it's also single-handedly made you question bringing Black Knight when it used to be, when in a tournament you would want a Black Knight in one of your control decks because just of so much taunt, and now you have to question it even that because Black Knight is not going to be effective against it. It's just going to leave the taunted slime. So Sludge Belcher again, lots of value. I really like it a lot. What do you think Raydric's play? As you said, it's TNT is slowly starting to dry him up, and this play is gonna make him lose his Bane as well. What do you think he should do? I think Thoughtseal is in order here right now. He's not gonna get an Ancient, not likely to get an Ancient of Lore and a Sylvanas, of course. So let's see. Wow.
Oh.
This always happens to me when I play against Priest. They always get a tech card that they use against me at its most critical point. So if, for example, an Ancient of War comes down now for TNT, it's going to be immediately deleted by Black Knight. It's very annoying.
Yep, Sunwalker.
I hate playing against Priest, man.
TNT has Sunwalker, by the way.
Oh, man. Is he gonna go for it? That's just
I think he is. I think he is gonna go for that. He can also play Ragnaros, but apparently you don't want to play something that's 8/8 with 1 Shadow of Death and he's gone. Spectral Knight is fantastic against Priest. I really like that card a lot against Priest.
I love that card, yes.
There's no way you can kill it. It's 4 health plus the fact that no matter how he deals with your damage, or he tries and amend your damage, whether buff it or nerf it, there is no way he could Shadow a Pain or Death it. It's just so sticky against Priest. So double 4s on the board, 4-5 and 4-6, but what's gonna hurt TNT is the Black Knight. Stolen, by the way, from Todd Steele.
Stolen Black Knight, and it's now just gonna be slapped in his face. And Sylvanas also gonna come down very soon. Oh man, that is a heartbreaker. This is exactly what I hate playing against Priest. He steals that one tech card that just ruins your entire plan for the game moving forward. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and a second thought still as well in the hand for Raydric. Ragnaros YOLO Rag's gonna come out here and probably just gonna deal some damage onto the Priest. It's time to go in and deal some damage because he's losing the card advantage. And what will Rag go? Rag should go for it 4-7, and he takes it down really nicely. So the Black Knight goes down, and it's interesting to note that there is no way you could identify if a card is stolen or not from your deck. So he could run a second stuff, but he's gonna toss still a Sunwalker.
Oh gosh, look at these thought steals. And I just want to point out, he got Circle of Healing just now. If he hadn't made that play earlier with Akanai Soul Priest, he would have had a play right now with Circle of Healing. Unfortunately, I don't know why I really don't understand why he played the Akanai Soul Priest that early on in the game. But right now, that Circle of Healing is not going to do much. He does. I mean, Sylvanas, I think, is a fair play because if Ragnaros hits her, then that's a big chance to steal either the Spectral or Ragnaros himself. Not so sure about Sunwalker though.
I'm a little bit interested in Raydric's full deck list because if he runs double Zombie Chow, this could be the 20 damage burst that I think Noxious was playing on his stream about 1 to 2 months back after Next came out. It's interesting that he decided to take apart the whole combo. And I did see one Zombie Chow, I did see one Bear River there, and I am seeing Akanai as well as Circle of Healing. So I will not be surprised if this is that deck list. But that's a Mark of the Wild, guys, for TNT as well as Raydric. That is a Druid card in a Priest deck. It's that painful. So this spell here is gonna take away the taunt as well as the the very irritating Divine Shield, and TNT is actually gonna opt to take some damage himself. It's also gonna put up some taunt on the 2-4, making it to a 4-6 and 8 damage directly to Raydric. It's ticking. He needs to either steal Ragnaros now or kill it.
Oh man, I would have liked to see actually a taunt on the Spectral Knight instead. Oh wait, sorry, but you can't target it.
You can't do that. It's
right.
magic immune to anything and everything,
except
for area spells, which we'll go through. So Savannah's winner is gonna come out here, and that's where you taunt her up. There we go, 7-7. What a beast indeed. But then again, there is the silence from TNT, Skipper of the Grove. So this game is just really gonna wreck.
Oh man, that's very unfortunate for Raydric. Unfortunately, it has been a day of top decks, and we are seeing that. And a day for luck as well. And this is not really gonna go down in Raydric's favor.
All the BM,
All
well played.
BM.
Tanks and everything else. Now gonna swipe the 5-1. Gonna take up the damage like a man because it doesn't really matter. And he's just gonna go and deal 8 damage. This is a Priest deck that everyone just, hates to deal with. Ragnarok's gonna deal 8 damage. It's not even game yet, but it is seemingly like it's game. And this is where, Priests don't really want to play anymore, and I think that's actually pretty fair for me. I think I've seen enough from this Priest.
Yep, so players having a bit of a discussion talking about that.
No, as in Raydric was just, sorry, TNT was just saying that he meant to say thanks instead of well played, and then thanks, and then realizing that it's such a BM move, and you just feel so bad. Man, people in C is just, people in Southeast Asia, they are really good people. I think they kind of, I'm generalizing, of course.
I'm a little pissed off at the emotes actually. I'm really sensitive against the emotes. Every time somebody does an emote, even if it's like a normal thing, like a well played at the end of the game, it just hits me the wrong way. I just get really salty about it. I consider all of it VM, so I just don't like seeing it. I'm sick of it. Anyway,
I really like the sorry VM though, because that's what I always use when I win and lose. I'm just like, everything is just sorry.
Oh,
you don't know what he's thinking, you know. It's just sorry. Everything is just sorry. You misplay, sorry. You play right, sorry.
right.
But you're right. Druid versus Druid, and TNT does win the first game here, so he gets 1 point. And Raydric, what kind of a Druid is he playing?
Wow, well, it's obviously really nice ramp. He's gonna get the chance to Wild Growth, and he has Innervate in hand. We see Ancient of War and Cenarius, so that's pretty good. That's a very nice ramp. And of course, as we said earlier, Druid having a bit of a problem dealing with large minions. And if Raydric is able to, nice draw, Big Game Hunter. If he's able to set up correctly and in the right time and just put up enough defenses, I think he can take this.
Yeah,
Cenarius
once again,
and Ancient of War. Yeah.
Once again, guys, if you find the game lagging, it's mainly because we're getting a feed from the players in the absence of spectator mode, and we're gonna wait for that a little bit. But here we have a player TNT from the UK, and the streamer me. I'm situated in Singapore, so it's gonna take some time for information to travel from there to here.
The tubes are slow.
Yeah.
The pipes are.
Yeah, but I like to say that there is double wall growth for Raydric, so that's actually a pretty good, hand already turn 4, and it seems like he's already at turn 6. 6 mana cost there, playing Kane Bloodhoof. How can you deal with this beast?
That's just one Chillwind Yeti against 2 of Raydric, so that's gonna be quite hard. Wow, is he gonna go straight for Cenarius?
I think he is. Innovate Cenarius, please.
Do it, do it. No, don't play safe. Play YOLO Cenarius. Let's go.
Oh man, he's thinking about it. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Now, what's gonna happen is if you play Cenarius, I will play Sylvanas if I'm TNT.
I would.
And I just want to see Raydric's day spoiled, because this is just too good a hand. Okay, here goes Cenarius. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Oh man, so many minions as well. Well, at least he's not gonna leave it with 2 minions and not gonna be bothered by Sylvanas that much. I think that he's just gonna go all in the face here.
Yep, absolutely right. So that was a ridiculously good hand for Raydric, as we said. Double Wild Growth, and then you have Cenarius and Ancient of War in hand, and Karen, of course, top decked. And Raydric is now ready for Ragnaros with Big Game Hunter when that comes down. So pretty excellent hand on the part of Raydric. Let's see what TNT comes up with. I like your play of Sylvanas. Unfortunately, he's just 1 turn away from it. Let's see what
he can coin. He can coin it out. The thing is, it's not about a coin. It's about the fact that even if you play Sylvanas here, there is a 1 in 4 chance you're gonna steal something. Or so there's a 2 in 4 chance you're gonna steal something bad, and that is not really what you want. I think you want to play when you can only steal good stuff. So here, I think Raydric, he is in a pretty good spot. He can always deal with minions on the board without much of a trouble. It's only the bear. The Chillwind Yeti is not even a threat at this instant.
Yep, especially since you can Wrath it also.
You're right. You can Wrath the Chillwind, or he can Wrath for 1 on the 4/6 and run Cenarius into that. Yep. And kill off the 4/3 with his hero power and the 2/2. I think that's okay, but he's gonna Wrath for 3. I actually kind of like dealing with the bear rather than what's hiding behind the bear.
That's right.
But it's okay.
That's what I would do.
He's gonna take out both anyway. The difference between his play and my play is that you get 1 card from my play. But unfortunately, in my play, you will lose 1 extra minion, and I think that he's just trying to play around Sylvanas a little bit, and I think that's fair.
And more survivability as well from the side of Cenarius, I think.
Not really. You still get 4 damage from both.
Yeah,
minions.
you'd have to run it into one of those. Okay, Sylvanas is gonna come down now for TNT.
Oh man, 1 Keeper of the Grove is gonna ruin his day. Come on, Raydric, do it. Keeper is looking like a Shield Master.
Put up the taunts. Yes. Ooh. Okay.
Oh wow.
There we go.
Swipe. He's going all into face. Of course, you ignore Sylvanas if you can. And
despite Sylvanas being in play, I don't think it's gonna be able to steal enough in good time.
I don't think he's gonna catch up. TNT might just lose the second game here. And It's gonna rough Salvadas. Alright, you can rough your own minion, that's right. He's gonna steal something. I hope it's gonna be the 4-5. Nope, actually, no matter what he steals, I think he is actually in a very bad state. Okay, yes, it's gonna be Kingblood with the 4-5. Here, you set up a taunt. I would play Sludge Belcher, but he decides to go with Druid of the Claw. Main reason why is, like I said, you know, you always survive with 2 taunts up instead of 1. But here comes the swipe, and there's your Drake. Okay.
I think that's it. There we go. That is it. Raydric's gonna take this game. 5 damage swipe.
Is he gonna take this game? Really?
Yeah, because that's gonna be 5 damage swipe, and then Scenarios is just gonna go for the taunt, and then
you see,
5 damage.
If you play Sludge Belcher, it would have been a different story, would it?
That's right. Always play Sludge Belcher. Lesson of the day. Always play. If you need to taunt up for defense, play Sludge Belcher.
If you need anything done, play Sludge Belcher.
Exactly.
If you need food, play Sludge Belcher.
That's
if you
right.
need to go out and do work, you play Sludge Belcher. If you need to AFK, you play Sludge Belcher. It's always Sludge Belcher because that's 2 taunt in 1. And then the next turn he could play, you know, Senjin Shieldmaster and Druid of the Claw because he will have enough. And there is where I think he's gonna have some, you know, some space at least to fight. But doesn't matter because now we're going into the 3rd game between both of these players in round 3.
Yep. So interesting decks, classes left in TNT stable. He still has Mage and Shaman. So Mage we haven't seen a lot of lately. Mage has gone a bit quiet. So if we see Mage now, I'd be very interested to see what kind of deck it is. It's probably going to be a Freeze Giants. I've seen a lot of Freeze Giants on the ladder. Nice to see that again. Another early season Mage deck. One of the earliest ones. So would be fun to see. I would love to see Ramp Druid versus Freeze Giants.
Yeah, and it's already the quarterfinals, by the way, and we have 8 players still alive in this tournament. They are ADYB fighting Charge, and Lightbringer fighting Zkill, Essence playing Live for Life, and Raydric versus TNT, which is what you're gonna see here. Game 3, by the way, going in as we speak. It's gonna be Mage against Druid, and like what you said, Katips, man, Mage has just been out of meta just as interestingly as Priest has been out of meta for as long as possible. But Mage has always just been around, you know. Now that Priest is coming up, people are just forsaking Mage for Priest. And what do you think about that?
Well, Mage is very annoying to play against, especially Freeze Giants. I'm not sure. I can't actually see TNT's hand. Is he playing Freeze Giants?
Water Elemental Duplicate. I don't think so.
Could be so it might be a Secrets Mage. So yeah, Priest is a little more stable right now, I think, than Mage. Because Mage obviously can snowball if you start to draw the correct things, or if you get your Doomsayer early against like a Zoo. But then Priest has a lot of clearing options, has a lot of defense, has a lot of strong minions and removal. So that has a lot of it going for it. And yeah, like we said earlier, Mage has been a little bit quiet. It's taken Priest's spot in the corner of being quiet in the meta. But Raydric now still playing as Ramp Druid. He has a very pretty, it's a pretty good draw. He has a nice curve. He has Innervate and the coin as well. So let's see where this goes. I think coin into Harvest Golem is good. But he can also Senjin. I think Senjin would be a waste though. He goes for it anyway. Golden Senjin. Golden Testingo.
Yeah, well, Golden Testingo. Pretty good stuff. 3-5. And TNT here effectively cannot really deal with that. I think he doesn't have a minion to play this turn. He's got to play a secret.
So Ancient of War coming down now for Raydric. And here comes the uncoined Harvest Golem. So that was a pretty decent play. And in the very least, Senjin can draw out a Fireball. So that would be a good spending of the Testingo.
Yep. So he plays the duplicate instead of mirror entity. So it makes sense because so early on you're not gonna get a good steal. So playing the mirror entity may not be ideal. But no matter what, this is a Secrets Mage deck. There is mirror entity, counter spell, even duplicate. So yeah.
So Raydric not wanting any of this nonsense. He's just gonna go straight for face. Goes for cat form for his Druid of the Claw. So turn 5 could be a removal in the form of the swipe. Turn 6, of course, is going to be Cairn. So TNT now has to put a defense. As we said, as we always say, Sludge Belcher, always the best move. It's going to slow down Raydric quite a bit, but Silence comes down now for Raydric. he can get rid of that Sludge Belcher quite effectively.
I think you're one turn ahead in terms of Raydric being faster than TNT.
So our theory is correct.
Yeah,
Raydric
and
is faster,
not as in you, but Raydric is faster, and because of that, the stream is not loading as fast as it should. But then again, Duplicate just proc now for me, so we have double Water Elemental in the hand for TNT.
Yep, so Raydric, I will give it a few moments, but pretty much he saves his silence and chooses to use his minions to clear the board instead. Of course, Duplicate, as you said, gives TNT 2 Water Elementals, quite an effective minion. It's nice to slow down the tempo of your opponent, but I think Raydric is just gonna go straight for face every time. Do you think TNT has enough to survive? Does he have a Doomsayer in hand? Does he have anything to defend himself with? 12 health.
I think he doesn't have anything at all. Duplicate again, no mirror, as in no ice block or ice barrier. He needs something done. He's gonna play Kirin Tormage and he's gonna throw a mirror entity, which I think is pretty good because the next minion I'm gonna expect it to be slightly bigger.
So it's gonna be Ancient of Lore or Ancient of War. Ancient of War will be very bad for him right now.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a 5/10 taunt, and TNT is gonna have that.
Wrath, I think, is good for the 4/3.
Yeah, but if you Wrath here, you cannot play a big minion or any minion at all. You can only play the Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah. Well, you can Keeper of the Grove and then run the sheep into it. That's one play.
Yeah. But then you will not have anything left on the board except for the 2/1, which can be pinged away.
Ooh, if he plays Ancient of War, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna be some nice defense for TNT. Still thinking about it. So this is okay. Mirror Entity for that is okay. There we go.
Must be so happy that he did that.
Yeah, must be. He thought about that Ancient of War, but... Okay, here we go. 3 damage to the Kiritor Mage, and gonna go straight for face again. 10 health left for TNT.
Yep, and TNT seems like he's not gonna be in a good spot at all. We have Ragnaros coming out here. I wonder what that's gonna do for TNT.
So smartly clears out the Harvest Golem. Looks like he's gonna make room for the Lord of the Underworld, Lord of Blackrock Mountain, Ragnaros.
Nope, he's actually gonna ping, so he will not have enough of that, but he's gonna play Lower Thap. Which is just a bad read because Raydric doesn't have any spells at all in the hand right now. Only minions there, and here comes Wild Growth for 7. And who's gonna play Wild Growth for 7?
Most
really?
Expensive Wild Growth we've ever seen. But Ancient of War coming down now for TNT. Unfortunately, did not get the Mirror Entity off of it earlier, and now he has to deal with this 5/10. Does he have a Polymorph left?
He's got a Duplicate.
Polymorph? Okay, Duplicate.
Yeah, but I think he's dead soon. And times like this, you just have to wonder if this deck choice is actually correct or not. And he's actually going to play Counter Spell, which is interesting. So that is going to negate a swipe. And
so now the
engine,
the secret engine for TNT is now coming out with a Mad Scientist and the Counter Spell, but I think it's a little too late now. 10 health. He should try first with an attack to see if it's a Vaporize, I think. Ooh, nice bait. Very nice.
But it's not like he has any other spells there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's more like a try and error, and it's actually interesting that he played it on turn 9. So it's not, he knows that he's not gonna get any card at all, but he's just gonna try and read that. So that's a good read from Raydric. Really well done.
So this is gonna potentially drop TNT down to 3 if he goes for face. I think he should go for face because with hero power and the rest of these minions, I don't think that's enough for TNT to survive. Unless he has something like a fireball or a pyro to get past the 5/10.
Nope, none of those. And TNT is starting to lag really bad.
Does he also? I mean, he still doesn't have any other secrets, does he?
Oh, okay, loaded. Yeah, he still has Counter Spell, Duplicate.
So no ice blocks or ice barriers.
Oh, he actually kills the mad scientist. So what is that secret? He needs to mouse over that. Let me check. Ooh, actually, he's just gonna call concede. Wow.
Looks like it's not the secret he wanted, and he knew that he was on the brink. So we were going to game 3. That pushes him out to his shaman. So shaman, another deck that's kind of like on the fringes, and it's pretty good against a lot of classes. It's good against handlock. It's good against ramp druid. So let's see. How do you feel about shaman versus druid?
Shaman versus druid. Tricky. Shaman's got a lot of answer for druid. Druid don't really have anything that can handle shaman. I think you have Wrath that could kill. Okay, Wrath can handle both the flame tongue as well as the mana tide. You can swipe. But other than that, you don't really have stuff to deal with big minions. But I think Shaman don't really have big minions to begin with. So, okay, I'm gonna rule it in favor for Druid. Because while Shaman has got Hexes and Earth Shock, they don't really have much to handle the late game. And Druid has just got so much big minions that you cannot hex every single one. And it really depends on what kind of Shaman that, you know, the Shaman player is playing. If he plays Bloodlust, that's a curveball right there. The Bloodlust is just gonna help him advance the course a lot faster and maybe just prematurely kill the Druid, in which all the above arguments is just gonna be rendered invalid. But if the Druid player is able to hold out the front, and this is not a Bloodlust Shaman deck, but this is just a standard Shaman deck with the standard Argent Commander and standard stuff going on, then probably, you know, that this instant would be a pretty simple win for the Druid.
So we're going to game 3. We are now up against we have our Druid against TNT's last deck, which is Shaman, and Raydric I think has just switched it up. I see Zombie Chow and Harvest Golem, and I think he has switched to either a token Druid or maybe a mid-range Druid. So let's see. What does it look like from the hand of TNT? What has he got so far?
It looks pretty okay. Lightning Storm, you need to keep that. But his thinking is this is against a Druid, he might throw that away. If it's a token Druid, you still need to keep Lightning Storm, so I'll keep that. I'll keep Unbound Elemental, and he has Haunted Cube. He's actually gonna keep everything. He's also gonna keep the Mana Tide Totem, so this is a pretty okay starting hand. It's not very bad, but for Raydric, that's a Zombie Chow right there, and it gets a Hex for TNT. Okay, that's fine.
I like this hand for Raydric, actually. It's a nice little curve. He just drew into his turn 5 play. I think that's pretty good for him as far as stopping the early game of Shaman with Haunted Creepers. And Zombie Chow, of course, one of the most... I think it's pretty underrated because people always see the drawback of the 5 health, but actually you're using it as a removal for board control to make way for your turn 3, turn 4 minions.
Yeah.
So...
It's very good for early game, very good for very early game, but the moment you hit mid game, not so good.
Yeah, it becomes a dead card in your hand, that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, TNT gets Lightning Bolt as well as a Rock Biter weapon. Here, playing Unbound Elemental is just not good, unless you coin out the Lightning Bolt, which is going to buff it up a little bit. It's going to kill Zombie Chow and get some health back, which is fair,
Yep. So that's pretty good. 3-5 now on the Unbound Elemental. And gonna bring him back up to 30 health. Pretty good.
This is how you should look at the Lightning Bolt, or rather the Lightning Bolt transfer for Zombie Chow. It's so much value for the Zombie Chow player because that's one Lightning Bolt gone. That's one 4 damage burst addressed, or rather 3 damage burst gone. And effectively, it really just nullifies the amount of cards that your opponent has to deal with the Zombie Chow, just to make sure that his board presence is actually a viable option for him. But here TNT, he is going to play the Totem because of Mana Overload and nothing else he can do here, and see the amount of value for Druid is really insane right now.
Yep, absolutely right. So I am thinking Wrath is going to come down for Unbound Elemental for 3 damage. Another Golem going to come down, and definitely don't want to leave Shamans with totems around. Just want to make sure they keep RNGing the bad totems at this point in the game, and maximize your board control. So Raydric now, with 2 golems in play, 1 damage golem, 1 harvest golem, and still a taunter in play, he does have Sludge Belcher in hand. As we said, very good value. Could potentially draw the Hex, but Lightning Storm's gonna come down first for TNT.
Right. And here, pretty good Lightning Storm. In fact, all goes there. But Sludge Belcher, there's a Hex for TNT. So, ideally speaking, you want your Sludge Belcher to absorb up all the Hex possible coming from the Shaman player. Then you can play your Blueberry, which is the Ancient of War. And once the Ancient of War goes down, it's only going to be the Earthshock that's going to hurt 5 health, but that's about it, nothing big. And even the 4-6 is a pretty big, devastating threat, mid-sized threat that TNT cannot really deal with. That's why I think I favor Druid a lot more in this kind of a matchup. But what do you think?
Well, it's going to start becoming problematic once the Sludge Belcher comes out, I think. He's going to be able to draw removals, and then once the Hexes come down, clears the path for his Ancient of Wars, as you said, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and as the Shaman player, you need to know what are the priority targets to Hex. Sludge Belcher is okay for Hex. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to Hex at like 7 points. That's fine. Druid of the Claw, that's only 5 points for Hex. You don't really want to Hex that against stuff like Ancient of War. Ancient of Lore, you're completely confused already. Do you even Hex that? That's a 5-5 and you cannot deal with that any other way. You can't play Flame Tongue, and I think you need minion, but the problem with Flame Tongue is you need minions on the board, you need board presence, which is already not available for TNT right now. So it's too late to set up something without clearing the board, and he doesn't have a board clear mechanic. It's looking really bad for him so far.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Raydric has been pretty smart in removing the totems for TNT, not giving him any options to power up with Flame Tongue. So it's pretty good on his part. But here we go now. Tokens coming down for TNT. He now has 2 Spectral Spiders getting buffed up by both the Flame Tongue. By both the Flame Tongue for one of them, and then Druid Defender of Argus. So now Raydric now has a full board to deal with all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is good. That's why you play the Spectral Spider, or rather the Haunted Creeper, because they give minions, and once again, the moment you've got minions up, remember Druid cannot really deal with 2 toughness minions all across. That's why you play on their weakness, and I think you still have a pretty good shot. But once again, you see the 5-5 comes out, and TNT, he can only use Flame Tongue to try and trade. That's the only value you can get. He gets a second Flame Tongue, that's really good. But he doesn't have a full board wide control kind of a thing, you see.
Sludge Belcher, of course, still alive for Raydric. That's going to be some decent defense for him for the next few turns. It did not draw the Hex, but still, lots of value, as we always say. Throughout this tournament, Sludge Belcher has made an appearance in almost every game, providing some value, providing some defense, and we are seeing this now from TNT.
I think here is what TNT will do. He will play the Flame Tongue in the middle of 2-3 and 4-2. He will then Hex up the 3-3, but it's very expensive. Then you can run the 2-3 to kill that, and the 4-2 will become a 5-2 to kill the Ancient of Lore. That's how you get full board control, but he's gonna go for the Azure Drake instead. That's interesting.
So I think TNT is more concerned with buffing up his side of the board versus removing Raydric's.
But this is not going to help him keep the Flame Tongue alive, I think.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, and this is where it's not going to cut through to the... Okay, he can Earthshock, yeah. If you want to Earthshock, it's going to die. 6-2 can kill 5-5. It's still not bad. You can even weaponize your own Flame Tongue. That's interesting. Did he attack with his Flame Tongue, actually? Did he? No, he didn't, right?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, that's wasted 2 damage. I think he clicked Enten too fast.
Yeah. He forgot that it's gonna move over the Flame Tongue to the other one. But anyway, some defense on the side of Raydric. He has many options. He has 2 Ancients of War. He has Dingo. He also has Sunwalker as an option. I think he really wants his removal, and unfortunately, Wild Growth not gonna give him a card in turn 9. I think his best bet right now. Why did he Wild Growth there? Okay, so he admits that mistake. I think he forgot that he's on turn 9 and not on turn 10. Wastes the card draw from the Wild Growth, so it looks like he's gonna go for Ancient of War. Have Hexes come down for TNT? I don't think he's used a single one, has he?
Nope, not yet. The first one.
Not yet. Okay, so this is a potential.
This is the must hex. This is like the 10 upon 10 hex.
This is the perfect hex. So TNT smartly saving the hex for the Ancient of War, managing to survive and able to remove the taunts on the side of Raydric for the meantime, maybe allowing him to save the hex for the bigger target, the priority target, which is the blueberry. So Raydric now getting pushed to the ropes. Man, Azure Drake one attack off from Big Game Hunter. Unfortunately, not going to help him, but he's going to be putting taunts down just as a defense. Definitely could have hurt Raydric for using the Wild Growth and not being able to draw a card. He's down to 3 cards in hand. TNT having both the card and the board advantage. So, does TNT have the second hex or not yet?
Nope, not yet. Just the Lightning Bolt and the Pharaoh Spirit.
I think Pharaoh Spirit is good right about now. It's not like...
Well, he used Earth Shock slightly earlier in a not so favorable position. So here he can deal with the 4-5 with the Divine Shield. And he's gonna have to make a trade here.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's gonna throw away one Flame Tongue Totem.
Oh,
that's a lot of damage gone.
He didn't need to do that. He could have totemed also before and try and get a top roll. I mean, get a spell totem.
Oh, spell totem. Holy cow.
I think TNT is a little bit flustered.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have to waste the first Flame Tongue, and he could have totemed first to maximize the lightning.
You could have just used Healing Tone to run into that, and then...
Exactly.
Yeah. Misplay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna taunt up his Flame Tongue as well, and this is a full board, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way Raydric can clear this board right now.
Yeah.
He's got no Shadow Flame, he's got nothing. Shadow Flame.
So that's 16 damage on the board for Raydric, not looking good for...
Oh, you mean for TNT?
For TNT, yeah. So not looking good for Raydric. At best... Oh, he didn't even have enough to... He doesn't even have enough to innervate the Black Knight to take out one of the taunters. Ooh, this is tough for him. I think he doesn't have to attack there. He should have... I think he should have just armored up, but anyway. I see no Do you see a reason for why he attacked the 1/4?
Nope, no reason at all.
And value Earth Shock.
And
Ancient of War.
I think this is almost over. Fire Elemental. That's another big minion. So the moment Shaman gets traction on the board, that's where things start to look really bad. And it all started with the Haunted Creeper. So that is fantastic. This is a good comeback for TNT. In fact, the odds were not really stacked with him. But I think that we have to also give credit to the fact that Raydric didn't get swiped at all, right?
Yep, 404 swipe not found. We are going to a game number 5.
Yeah, it's as we go along the day, you know, game number 5 start appearing, and this is where you see players that are really closely matched play against each other in the quarterfinals. Of course, I still don't have score from the other players yet. Let me check. Okay, ADYB goes through to the semifinals, so securing himself some good money there, and of course the players that are playing for, you know, money, obviously. So if you go to semifinals, you're secured at least 50 Singapore dollars. And for Lightbringer versus Zkill, that's not done yet. Oh, sorry, Zkill just won against Lightbringer. So the previous champion for Legend tournament is not going to be going through to the semifinals. Zkill is going to be in his spot, and that is going to be pretty exciting going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, there's quite a bit of money on the line. I mean, for a single tournament, 300 Singapore dollars is a lot of money still for the top placer, and it's kind of like a bonus. You already got Legend this season, and then you're playing for a reward pretty much for yourself. So we are going to see, like you said, more five game series in the tournament. So
yeah,
we are going to go now to Raydric's, I believe his last deck, which is Warrior. So we're expecting it to be Control Warrior. How do you feel about Control Warrior versus Shaman?
Slightly better than Druid versus Shaman because of the fact that Warrior's got a lot more board clear mechanic, and that's from the 4 Whirlwinds that they have. From the assuming he runs the Death's Bite as well as Whirlwind, that's gonna be quite a fair bit of, you know, board clear mechanic coming into play here. and they also have got Brawl. So remember that Shaman needs almost a full board to maintain their pressure and presence. They don't have big minions unless he plays Elder, Wind Fury, and yada yada. Unfortunately, that is not possible with Leeroy anymore because of the fact Leeroy just got nerfed to becoming a 5 cost minion, and he just will never be played again in competitive play. So yeah, that's it. That nerf is definitely going to hit TNT a lot more than Raydric for this particular game, and we have to see what kind of a deck TNT is bringing in here. I don't think it's the same deck, but it's still too early to call it quits, and the hand for TNT looks pretty good. Unbound Elemental, Pharaoh Spirit, Lightning Storm, and another Pharaoh Spirit, and also Flimtang Totem and Manatite Totem, so all of which are very good for the early game. So he's poised to set up a good board for the early game. Raydric might have some trouble dealing with that.
Yep, but Raydric gonna go with some efficient removal right there with a Cruel Taskmaster. Thinking about coining into either Acolyte of Pain or the Armor Smith to start at the Warrior Engine. He's gotta go for Armor Smith, pretty good choice, I think. And yeah, so far Raydric, I think, has enough good early cards. So he's got his Acolyte of Pain and he's got his Armor Smith. He also has both of his Fiery War Axes and defense in the form of the Daz Dingo. So I like Raydric's opening turns.
Yep, I think it's pretty good. But for this instance, TNT is just gonna play Pharaoh Spirit. But the good thing is that at least Raydric took care of the Unbound Elemental. If not, that would have been complete disaster for Raydric because of the amount of overload cards that is in the hand here for TNT.
Yeah. So it has to be okay. So I think that was a pretty decent play. Get rid of the. It's gonna give some armor to Raydric, but I think that's manageable for now. Definitely prime target for the last charge of the Fiery War Axe to get rid of the Flame Tongue. I'm thinking though, should he get more armor from the Armor Smith running into the 2/2 first before he gets rid of it? What do you think? I think he should be, because I think that he should run the Armor Smith first into the 2/2 before he kills off the 0/3. How do you feel about that?
I think it's okay. It's not that big of a problem.
Just get a little bit more value.
Here we have Senjin Shieldmaster coming out, and that means that the Flame Tongue is dead. And from here forward, once again it looks like Raydric is poised, but we have to remember, okay, this is Bloodlust Shaman. Okay, if this is Bloodlust Shaman, then you only need 4 or 5 minutes on the board, and it's pretty easy to win a game already.
So Bloodlust, I have fallen prey to the Bloodlust Shaman on the ladder. It's pretty devastating to lose to it because it's just so much damage. And Raydric looks like he wants to get rid of these minions, not going to give a chance to get a lot of value from Bloodlust. I think this is a good play. Okay, so that's going to clear out the entire board of TNT, looks like.
Yep.
And any options moving into the later turns for TNT? How's it looking like for him now?
Nothing at all. This time the Haunted Creeper is not going to help him get advantage because this is a warrior deck and there's a lot of weapon to provide those extra advantage that the warrior needs to overcome, minions on the board. It's really just disgusting, but I think that Raydric should be fine in this game. Unless he screws up, this game should go to him.
Yep. So 26 health still for the side of Raydric. He's still getting armor left and right from the still surviving Armor Smith. It's really difficult if you leave either Acolyte of Pain or Armor Smith free to do what they need to do, and that just snowballs into such an advantage for later on. And unfortunately for TNT, some very nice sticky minions are coming out for Raydric, and he also still has Brawl in hand, so that's gonna be pretty good for his side, I think. How do you feel about TNT's chances right now?
Well, like I said, he just needs more minions on the board, but the problem is that his minions don't stick. And that's the nature of Shaman's minions. They don't have very thick health. They are all generally you know, just there. Earth Shock on the 4/4 is just gonna buy him some time, but then it's not gonna kill it, which means that it is okay. It's not gonna provide the warrior any value, but we have to always remember that the Armor Smith is still alive, and as long as the Armor Smith is alive, the warrior's armor is just gonna keep going up, and as it keeps going up, this feat is just not gonna be possible for TNT.
And now Acolyte of Fate comes down to fuel the engine even more for Raydric. He now has both pieces of the puzzle for the warrior sustainability, and he's just gonna armor up. And 4 cards left in the hand of TNT, with only a Spectral Spider to defend him. I think it's starting to look pretty bad for TNT, especially with Ragnaros now coming into the hand of Raydric. That's pretty bad.
Well, Lightning Storm here is a definite must play. It takes 2 out of 3 minutes away, but it's gonna give a lot of armor. And look at that, 12 armor for Raydric. Everything goes, but the Mana Tide Totem is gonna be a naked play here. No more weapon unless it's a Death Bite. Both Fire War Eggs are utilized already, so Sludge Belcher is gonna be here for Raydric.
Yep, Sludge Belcher, as we said, always the best play. Always the best play.
Here, I think Shaman is just running out of steam.
Yeah, I agree.
There is the Black Knight that can take care of Sludge Belcher, which is what I think he's gonna play. But oh, there's Hex though, and he can't Hex at Black Knight because of the fact that he's mana overloaded. So he's definitely gonna play Black Knight only. He's gonna save the Hex for something slightly bigger.
You can go Cruel Taskmaster into Execute. That's one, and then get rid of the. Oh no, he's gonna get some card draw. Acolyte of Pain. Pretty good.
Yep, gonna kill the Mana Tide for sure. You want to kill the Mana Tide as soon as possible, just so that it doesn't give the insane amount of card draw advantage that it gave TNT in the last game. So here, game number 5, still looking like it's split down the middle, although we are having 12 armor on Raydric using Execute on something like a Black Knight. Okay, that's still acceptable, borderline, because TNT's deck don't really run big minions. This is a Bloodlust Shaman. They don't have anything bigger than a Fire Elemental, I think. And that's why it's still acceptable to play those kind of, you know, playing Execute on something not so big is still fine.
Yep. So still having another Execute in hand. He still has Ragnaros in hand, and Brawl also. I think Raydric's still in a pretty good position, but Lightning Bolt's going to come down now for TNT, and that's going to end the AOC. But Death's Bite now coming out for Raydric. Double Death's Bite coming down for Raydric, so pretty good. I think that's going to be the catalyst he needs to exhaust TNT pretty much.
Yeah, but what he is going to use to trade here is just his armor, effectively. So he is very comfortable trading with all this armor. No problem at all for him, but you have to look on the flip side that TNT is running out of steam already, so he needs something slightly bigger, and he's going to save the Big Game Hunter. He cannot play the Big Game Hunter here because that's a Ragnaros directly in the hand for Raydric. And there is Hex though, so you can always Hex that up. And this is a problem for both sides. They're having problem with minions that don't stick on the board.
Loathab, I think, is pretty good in this scenario. Just stop those spells from coming. I think both Lightning Storms have been used. Both Lightning Bolts have been used.
Oh, shouldn't he attack first before he play Loathab? So that it doesn't get damaged?
Yeah. It's a slight misplay from Raydric. Tolerable. I mean, he's still up to 37 health, so effectively. I think 1 damage on Loathab. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if that was a crucial misplay. But Haunted Creeper going to come down now for TNT. And trying to get his board back. Getting the Stoneclaw Totem, so I think that's pretty crucial. That said, Sludge Belcher comes down for Raydric. Good top deck, I think. There we go. He's going to play it. Smart move. Always play Sludge Belcher.
No, always maybe not always, but, you know, just frequently play that. Death's Bite here is pretty okay. I think
that's going to clear out the entire board.
Next turn, not this turn.
Next turn, yeah, next turn.
You can go for face here first, and then you can take out the 1/2 the next turn. Of course, unlike the warrior, Shaman cannot effectively increase the health pool, which is why as a Shaman you want to avoid taking damage as far as possible. But here comes Lightning Storm with the increase spell damage from the spell totem there, but it's not gonna take any minion away. Even lower tap's gonna stay alive.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Oh man, that's that seems to be a wasted spell. But anyway, Stoneclaw Totem again. So TNT buying himself some time. But the question is now, what is TNT's finisher? Raydric has barely got it started. He hasn't put down Ragnaros yet. There hasn't been any like Baron Geddon yet or Alexstrasza. And TNT is deck is slowly starting to thin. I think Unstable Ghoul would be nice here. How do you feel about Unstable Ghoul? Or do you think he should go straight for Ragnaros? But that's gonna bait a Hex, isn't it?
Yep, definitely Ragnaros is gonna bait a Hex, and that's not what you want unless you got Grommash, and then it's okay to play that all of a sudden. But Hex is gone. Hex is actually already used up on the Sludge Belcher, which is why if he plays Ragnaros here, I would understand. But then again, it could be a bait again from TNT because he might have second Hex. That's why he hexed the Sludge Belcher in the first place, which is something that he didn't hex in the game before. And if Raydric remembers that, he may not play the card that he needs to play.
I think he should.
By the way, the misplay I think is gonna lock him down in the perspective that he cannot play, he cannot attack with the Death Spike here. The slight misplay is gonna kill Lower Thap if he plays that into the O2, which is why he's denied 5 damage away from the Shaman, effectively.
I think the compromise is just put down the Ghoul, since Lothab is gonna die anyway. Might as well leave him alive for now by not attacking with Death Spite, but then put down some taunts in the form of the Unstable Ghoul, since TNT doesn't have a way to get past it anyway right now.
Yeah, it's just a little sad that the misplay is causing him 5 damage.
And it's causing him to play differently also. He would have played so many other plays had he had Loethab had that 1 extra health. So yeah, exactly right.
Alright. So here if you play Ragnaros, which is what I think he's gonna do, there will be the Big Game Hunter that's gonna come out to hunt it very easily. Unstable Ghoul is not gonna protect that, unfortunately. And that is gonna be 8 damage. And TNT, he would have been down all the way to 7 damage, 7 health in fact, if he didn't make the misplay. So yeah, so that is what is the margin of error. Slight misplays, they count for a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Golden Big Game Hunter gonna take out Rag. And no more weapons for Raydric, I think. That was his second Death Spite.
Yep.
Shield Block, Shield Slam. Always a favorite. Here we go.
Yeah, but what do you want to slam here? 18 damage, 1 Shield Slam. Do you want to kill the 4-4? Or you just want to go for face? You cannot Shield Slam the face. That's very unfortunate. But I think that here, I think Raydric just needs a bigger minion. And yep. I know who he's waiting for. It's just that one guy.
Who's that?
Grommash.
Oh yes. Grommash into... Yeah, that would be his finisher.
He can even Shield Slam his own minion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna kill Grommash. It's because he's got too much armor. Downside of too much armor. But even then...
they're gonna be updating Grommash or the other orcs to be brown colored again. Well, Grommash in particular, since Thrall's already green. Ooh, is this a comeback for TNT? No Rockbiter though.
There's Rockbiter in the hand, so I think next turn Bloodlust, Rockbiter, or somewhere down the wire you get that combo off, and it's pretty big. By Ysera though. Ooh. Do you want to play Ysera? That's the question. Or do you want to play something like a Brawl first?
I think Brawl first. I would have gone Brawl first.
Is this where you Brawl? Or do you want to wait for the Windrunner to come up before you Brawl? Or is that too greedy? Questions and answers.
Why did he...
25%, 20% chance, that's all. 20% chance for absolute victory. And he's not going to get that. It's going to be the Azure Drake at the end of the day, I think. Is it? It's still brawling in the screen here. Man, this animation is so slow.
I don't want to spoil it, but you're going to see it in a few seconds.
Yeah, there we go, Azure Drake. I'm right.
Yeah. So, right. So 30 40 health effective for Raydric and 11 left for TNT. Sylvanas is gonna come down.
That's gonna execute a 4-3, okay?
Shield Slam, I think. Shield Slam into Ysera, I think, is gonna be the best move. Ooh, that's good.
Wow.
That is great.
Why don't you play your own Sylvanas and then Shield Slam it just to steal? Oh, but then there's the O2. Alright, so what happens if he steals the O2? Then you just quit.
That would be just total YOLO play, but these guys are playing for $300, so I think we're not gonna go for it.
Reasons why I'm not playing competitive.
Ah, yes.
I like to
Although
throw
this is
games
fun.
away. Wow, double rock batter. So that is like 6 plus 2, 8 damage, and that would be 16 damage in one turn. Provided he can wait till then. There is one hex and there is one card left in Raydric's hand. If he hexes the Sylvanas, we will see Ysera underdressed, and that's not what you want to deal with.
Yeah, I think it's a little too late for TNT. 11 health and no board, and Raydric still just starting his end game. I think it's a little too late.
Okay, he's just gonna try and let it steal something. Is it gonna be the taunt minion? Yes, it's gonna be the taunt minion. He's gonna kill it anyway, so... Okay, down to the last 2 charge. I think he is gonna use Rock Biter to try and get some leeway, but Ysera, you know, you cannot wait any longer, and that's where the Hex comes out. The only plus point is if it's a Ysera Awaken. Oh, is it? No, it's a Dream. Oh, damn, it's a Dream.
Oh, no.
And Ella cares, so that means that you don't really need to use Rock Biter on your Doombringer right now. Ella cares is gonna have the ability to soak them up. That's still 16 damage, and maybe TNT can come back here. You are slowly looking at Raydric losing steam. Big Game Hunter, hunting nothing at all.
So Unstable Ghoul gonna come down now for Raydric. And armor up, of course.
Wow, that is just 40 health on Raydric. And TNT is down to 6. He's screaming, give me some of that armor.
What else is left in Raydric's hand? Does he still have Alexstrasza, maybe?
Raydric or TNT?
I mean Raydric. What's left for his offense?
Gromash.
He's
The
already...
obvious
Oh,
one
right.
is Gromash. Gromash is the end all be all for him right now. Oh, okay. So here comes the Fire Elemental, and he's gonna deal 4 damage. Thrall is living his tournament life on the line. Raydric, he top decks a Faceless Manipulator. That's not really gonna cut it, but he's just gonna copy something anyway, just to hold off some steam. Do you dream the 6-4 after you Faceless it?
Well, that means he's just gonna be able to Lightning Bolt something else.
Yeah.
So I think, let's see, maybe Big Game Hunter, and then armor up.
There's Elacare in the hand for TNT, and I think that you want a Faceless Elacare, but by the time you have Elacare coming out, I think it's over.
Yeah, so Raydric just fishing for the Gromash, and TNT trying to hold on. Let's see what Raydric does. He's just gonna armor up and think first.
Yeah.
Armor up into concentrate.
I know guys in this game who plays this game, you know, they know they're gonna armor up, so they just use that first, then they think about everything else later.
Yeah.
Not a very effective way to think about things, but still pretty okay. Here comes the 4-2, and TNT top decks another Fire Elemental, so I guess it doesn't matter. It's just gonna get cannonballed away by the Fire Elemental, and by then next turn, I think, will he have enough? 6, 1, 7, 7, 14 is 7 plus 23, 26, that's about 33 health. And he's almost out of cards. You're gonna have to find Gromash somewhere, right? Shield block.
What the heck? Okay, he's gonna have to shield block now.
Is it the last card in the deck? Is that Gromash? Yes, it's Gromash at the last card in the deck. You have to be kidding me here. The O2 taunt is all that is left that's holding him back, but there is the Gromash that can deal 4 damage. That's it. He doesn't have a way to piss off this guy. He doesn't have anything at all to piss off this guy. He can dream back Gromash. But if you use Dream on the O2, he cannot Dream back Grommash. You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yes, exactly
and
right.
that would be a huge problem for him to deal with. Time is against him, in fact. There is 5 minutes on the board, dealing 13 damage. Plus Elacare with double Rock Biter. That is like 16 times 2. Oh, sorry, 16 plus 13. And that would be 29. Which is still very comfortably above 29, but there's still the Bloodlust factor. So if he doesn't play Elacare next turn, he plays Bloodlust. That's gonna give 3 for every single minion there. So that would be 15 plus 12, 27, 28 is still not enough, no matter how you count. But in 2 turns, it will be enough. You bet, it's gonna be enough in 2 turns.
I think he should have saved the Faceless for Elacare.
Oh, but then when Elacare comes out, he might not have the chance to use Faceless because it might have been all over. Oh, lagging here. So he copies the Fire Elemental, 6/4 is gonna kill it off. It's 1 token shy, and here comes the Elacare. Alright. It's not over because he decides to go this way first. And there's also Earthshot top deck, so even if he gets that, I think it doesn't matter. He's just gonna severely damage Grommash, and that's 2 taunts on the field. I think it's over. Raydric is done.
Oh no. Options are gone. He's gonna take Fatigue. And Grommash has no way past these taunts, even if he dreams one. Oh man, that is so unfortunate for him.
Why is Grommash the last card in the deck? This is just painful.
Oh gosh.
Can he dream back something here to stay alive? That's the question. Can he dream back Elacare to stay alive? Yeah, I think you dream back. Wait, 6 plus 9. 15. Oh man, it's still not gonna be enough. Oh, either way, it's not gonna be enough.
What's the last card of TNT though?
Dream. Oh, sorry, TNT? Last card?
TNT, yeah.
I'm not following. I'm guessing
so we've
it's
seen both,
okay, we've seen both Fire Elemental, we've seen both Hex. Have we seen both Hex? No, we've only seen one Hex, right?
We've seen Elacare, we've seen Sylvanas.
Well, there's only one Earthshock for sure, because the other one is in his hand. We've seen Elacare, we've seen Sylvanas, we've seen... It could
both
be Mana Type. Oh wait, it could be Flame Tongue.
No, we've seen both.
No wait, we've seen both Flame Tongues. Yeah. It could be Mana Type. Unless, if you know, he runs 1 Mana Type, so we've seen that already. What else could that be? GuessTheLastCard.com.
Ragnaros.
No. I don't think it's Ragnaros. I think it could be a Hex. I don't think we've seen 2 Hex yet.
Maybe.
Oh man, I should be tracking this game slightly more
So,
diligently. I'm sorry guys.
GuessTheLastCard.com.
Wait, here comes the dream. It doesn't matter what he dreams back.
Oh no!
He's out of time. Yeah, he's not able to click in time. Bloodlust here.
Here comes Bloodlust.
Wholesome finish. Wait. We still haven't seen the screen change yet. It's a Defender Argus. Holy cow.
Oh my god.
And the lag is just overwhelming. But it seems like TNT is going to go forward and guaranteeing himself some prize pool money here.
Congratulations to TNT. That was quite a comeback. Oh my gosh. He had... Raydric had it pretty much in the bag. And then all of a sudden towards the end, he runs out of steam. Oh, heartbreaking.
This is why you play Alexstrasza in your deck. If you realize he doesn't run Alexstrasza, this is why you play Alexstrasza.
Yeah. Alexstrasza, of course, having run out of favor a little bit. You don't see her very often these days.
And for a Control Warrior, I think the Ragnaros wasn't really well timed. But then again, Big Game Hunter is just a hard counter, so there's no way you can go about it. And along the way, it really is the fact that it's more towards the credit of TNT for playing it around. And that's what I think is fantastic on TNT's part. So yeah, really well done. And we'll be going for a little bit of a break, and we'll be back again with the semi-finals, and we'll be streaming ADYB versus Zkill. And that would be a very good game to watch.